going to talk about compliance. You know, that one thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about when we discuss the cloud and other people's servers and your data. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Hey guys, Derek Roush from Vocal Point Consulting, your cloud Sherpa. Today we're going to talk a little bit about IT compliance and cloud compliance. It's one of those things that a lot of companies just don't want to talk about because they want to bury their head in the sand. It's something that we definitely want to talk about, especially if we're handling an IT or cloud migration for a client. So let's jump into this. First question we're going to talk about is, how has cloud computing basically changed the compliance landscape? Look, cloud computing has definitely revolutionized the way businesses do business. It's given them a lot more flexibility, cost savings, and scalability, right? Problem is, with this enormous transformation comes a lot of complexity. In the past, companies often had direct involvement and control over their servers. Physical servers were typically in a closet or in their own little data center. That gave them actually a lot of control with specific parameters, data storage, access, security. But with cloud adoption, control is basically more decentralized. It's given up to a third party. And now you're going to have to rely on that third party to be compliant, depending on what your industry is. So we want to take a look at that solution provider. Are they going to be able to provide HIPAA if you're a healthcare client? GDPR if you're doing business in Europe? And what about PCI? If you're a call center and you've got agents working at home, you definitely better be PCI compliant. So all of this has basically led us to having a broader understanding of compliance. And it's one of the things that we definitely want to take a look at in every single project that we get involved with. So the second question we're going to talk about are, what are the top compliance concerns when migrating to the cloud? So first and foremost, when it comes to migrate to the cloud, you're going to want to make sure that your provider can ensure the security of your data while it's being migrated. So while that transfer process is happening, are they going to be able to protect your data? Businesses need to ensure that sensitive data basically is confidential and becomes uncompromised while it's in transit. Another major concern is going to revolve around security measures that are put in place by the cloud provider. Do they meet necessary industry standards? There's also the challenge of data residency. Cloud providers have data centers worldwide. Where is that data stored? Are you going to be able to be compliant if that data center is in another country, or the ingress and egress of that data going in and out of a country? All of these things have to be considered. So let's talk about how the multi-cloud strategies are going to impact this whole compliance management. So adopting a multi-cloud approach where businesses use multiple cloud service providers, it's definitely going to offer benefits like increased flexibility, reduced vendor lock-in, but it's also undeniably going to be complicating things when it comes to compliance management. Different cloud providers are going to vary in their security protocols. They're going to also vary on how they do data handling procedures and compliance certifications. So managing and ensuring compliance across multiple platforms requires definitely a holistic and robust oversight. And you're going to need to have the team in place to be able to do that. So this necessitates a well-coordinated compliance strategy that accounts for the nuances of each cloud environment. So I touched on it a little bit, but we're going to talk a little bit about data privacy laws like GDPR or CCPA and how they influence IT and cloud infrastructure design when it comes to compliance. So look, data privacy laws such as GDPR, which is Europe. If you're doing business in Europe, you definitely got to be GDPR compliant. But also if you're doing business in California, California recently adopted the CCPA compliance. So, if you're doing business there, you better make sure that your business is compliant. These have been game changers in the IT cloud domain. So when you're designing IT systems or selecting cloud solutions, you're going to have to ensure that platforms that you're using have robust data protection capabilities. And it's also going to be very imperative that any solution that you have in-house or in the cloud is going to provide functionalities that are going to empower users to manage, delete, or even transfer that data upon request. So the IT designs that you put in place when using cloud solutions are going to have to not only be efficient, but they're also going to have to be very transparent how you handle user data. So the bottom line is individual rights and data protection are going to be at the forefront of any IT and cloud strategy. So I hope you got some good information out of this. Look forward to talking to you guys again. Good night, 23.